Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, the Georgia Republican who's become a flashpoint for her promotion of dangerous conspiracy theories, on Wednesday placed an anti-transgender sign outside her office to mock Representative Marie Newman, a Democrat from Illinois whose daughter is transgender, in a back-and-forth that quickly spread on social media and drew widespread outrage. Newman and Greene are both freshman members of Congress whose offices in the Capitol complex are located across the hall from one another. The conflict between the two began after Newman spoke in favor of the Equality Act, a measure that's been proposed in multiple iterations over the past several decades. The Equality Act would amend the Civil Rights Act to also prohibit discrimination or segregation in areas like employment, housing and more based on sexual orientation or gender identity. Local, I rise today on behalf of the millions of Americans who continue to be denied housing, education, public services and much, much more because they identify as members of the LGBTQ community, Americans like my own daughter, who years ago bravely came out to her parents as transgender, Newman said Tuesday in remarks on the House floor that she later posted on social media. I knew from that day on my daughter would be living in a nation where most of its states, she could be discriminated against, merely because of who she is. And yet it was still the happiest day of my life and my daughter has found her authentic self. And as any mother would, I swore that I would fight to ensure this country changes for the better. Without the Equality Act this nation will never live up to its principles of freedom and equality. The right time to pass this act was decades ago. The second best time is right now, Newman continued. I'm voting yes on the Equality Act for Evie Newman, my daughter, and the strongest bravest person I know. Greene later shared the video of Newman's speech on her own Twitter account, writing, "As mothers, we all love and support our children. But your biological son does not belong in my daughter's bathrooms, locker rooms, and sports teams." Greene has spoken out against the Equality Act on several occasions, saying in a speech on the House floor that it would put trans rights above women's rights and later tweeting that the measure destroys women's rights, religious rights, and rights of the unborn. Greene has made national headlines in recent weeks for promoting dangerous conspiracy theories and extremist views, like support for QAnon, or saying without evidence that high-profile school shootings had been staged and that parts of the attack on September 11, 2001, didn't occur, as well as previously expressing approval on social media of messages advocating for the execution of prominent Democrats.